Hmm. Hmm. So we're running. We're live on. I just want to get um so we're running. We're live on. I just want to get um so we're running. We're live on. I just want to get um so we're running. We're live on. I just want to get um so we're running. We're live on. I just want to get um
point. Okay, we're rocking and rolling. Yep. So we're rocking and rolling. Today is the, let's get the calendar. Okay, good. We're good. Frankie Russo coming at you straight out of Brooklyn. I know I'm running late. We got a lot of things in the hopper. So we'll be on 77 WABC this coming Saturday night, 10 p.m. The Love Me, Hate Me kid from Brooklyn back on the mic at ABC. Go figure. Thank you, Pay. Thank you for the retweets. So we got that to report to you. Saw our great president today. We're working at it, Pay. We got. You know, it's in the middle of COVID, so things are. We're doing great, Happy Camper. We're getting ready to go back on the radio come Saturday night. We got that going on. And then I saw our great president, Donald John Trump, with an interview. Thank you, my brother Danny K, for the Super Hearts. God bless you, my brother. Thank you. It's very nice of you. Thank you, my brother. What up, champ? I did. I looked at some of it, Pay. Thank you, Danny K, for the retweets, for the invites. Thank you, Pay, for the invites of your followers. I saw the interview today. Those are the things our great president has to do. Absolutely. Well, I don't know much about this lady because I don't know what up, Pay. Thank you, champ, for the invites. I don't know much about the lady, so I don't know. All I saw was 120,000 martyrs. So I don't know what that means. You know, I I'm sorry. You know, a lot of crazy things in the Islamic world. I try to keep, you know, okay. As long as it's not Reza Pahlavi, we're good. As long as it's not Reza Pahlavi, we're good. You know what I mean? We don't want, okay, we don't want Reza Pahlavi, you know? Yeah, you know, his grandfather was with Hitler, you know? It's all there. He's the next Antichrist. We got to keep him out of the, he wants to get back in. And unfortunately, there are groups in America that want it to happen too, unfortunately. I hope, you know, when the mullahs collapse, you know what side I'm going to be on, Pay. I'm going to be against the Antichrist, Pahlavi. So very clear. When the mullahs collapse, and they're going to, the mullahs will collapse. The mullahs will collapse. They will collapse. And I'm not going to be on, I'm against Pahlavi. I'm against Pahlavi. So anybody but Pahlavi. Reza Pahlavi is not good. He may come across good. He may write the right book, the secular book. I guess so. I'm not with Pahlavi. So, my positions are very clear. I'm against, right, as long as it's not the Shah son, I don't like the mullahs. So, my position is very clear. When I take a position, I take a position. And they're well thought out. I got the guy's book. I read it. I got the guy's book. Over almost 20 years. Hey, I bought this book 2002 in Barnes & Noble's when Barnes & Noble's was on 18th and 5th. Look it up. Yeah, well, Pahlavi's not good, right? Barnes & Noble's when it was on 18th and 5th in Manhattan. Look it up the last time Barnes. I think it was 2001, 2002 when I bought this book. What up, Lulu? So our great president. Okay. I just asked, here's a question. What is 120,000 martyrs? What is that? Because when I hear martyrs from Islam, a bell goes off. Bah, 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 bah. I just want to know what that means. Is that martyrs against the mullahs? I want to know what that means. Wow, that's crazy. Because we do know that the IRGC, we know that Ahmadinejad in 09 couped. There was a big time coup with Ahmadinejad in 09. And we know there were numerous instances where people were going to the streets in Iran trying to protest against the mullahs and the IRGC. Wow, very bad. That's crazy. That's crazy. And the IRGC used force to keep the people in line. We know that. That's crazy. That's crazy. The Islamo-Nazis, very scary. The Islamo-Nazis. Because we had Napoleon. Hitler loved Napoleon. Then we had the Islamists loved Hitler. And now they're going to be very hard. The Islamo-Nazis, if they ever get together, are going to be very hard. Wow, that's crazy. That's terrible. Oh my God. Wow. That's dynamic. In the Christian world, they would say that's dynamic. The Christians would say that is a dynamic act. Very bad. So, wow, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. That is crazy. Crazy. So basically, it's crazy. Unbelievable. So I think, as long as it's not Reza Pahlavi, the Shah's son, we're okay. The mullahs are going to collapse. They will collapse if they haven't already. We just don't want the sneak move. They did it with Mubarak. That's why I'm really concerned. They did it with Mubarak. They did it with Gaddafi. They whacked him. They did it with Mubarak. They put in Morsi. But the Israelis got in there with Sisi, and they took care of that. Could you imagine, right, Pei? Could you imagine if the Israelis didn't coup Morsi right now, we'd be in the middle of a full-scale war with the mullahs attacking Israel, either directly or through Hezbollah. There would be definitely a conflict bigger than these proxy wars from Sana'a, from Baghdad, from Damascus, bigger than that. I hope you're right, Pei. I hope you're right, because the CIA, let me tell you something. I talk about the CIA, FBI, deep state all the time. I study it. They're good. I just want you to know. They are good. I have to say, they're good. Meaning they're good at what they, I don't like what they do, but they're good at what they do, is what I'm trying to say, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Well, Alba, it's interesting, right? Because I watched Tucker today. Tucker's a smart guy. I don't agree with what Tucker said. They said the same thing in 16, right? The same thing in 16. And today was the beginning. What Trump did today, I thought was nice. Trump said it. He said that he did a lot. President Trump has accomplished a lot, and he's concerned about his accomplishments being caught up in all this noise. And I'm hoping that eventually he tapes one of these things and he runs it like an infomercial and just runs it while he's doing all his other rallies and everything. So he's got that all covered. Absolutely, Pei, right? Because Morsi, they cooed. The CIA cooed Mubarak. The CIA cooed Mubarak. The Clinton Foundation was out there getting all that money out in Egypt. Oh my God, with Muslim Brotherhood. That was the deal with Obama. Let Obama run out there. Go to. That's part of That's part of Operation Ace of Spades. You got to understand. Absolutely, Pei. Obama was trying to create, not for, right? Obama, who basically his presidency was started from the ground up. This is the deep state's greatest accomplishment. One of their greatest, because some of them we don't know everything, right? So some of them, this is the ones that we know of. The creation of the Obama presidency is arguably the greatest intelligence creation. One of in the young CIA existence, right, Pei? CIA is only what? Since 47. I'm telling you. And the Israeli too. Israel was involved in the coup. So they kicked him out. So you got, Clintons were there with the foundation. Obama's over there laying the groundwork because there's money. The money in Islam, right? With the OPEC and the oil. The money with Islam is sick, right? Look at Qatar, look at Saudi. So there's a lot of money on the Sunni side. And Obama promised the Khomeini, because the Khomeini was worth between 90 to 200 billion, promised him that he was going to do something with this Hague thing. He didn't have to, but that was his move. That was his excuse. So, and that's why the deep state was one of the reasons why the deep state wanted Obama. Because Obama was going to get him that Islam money from the Sunni side and the Shiite side. That's why he started. That's, it's crazy. It's crazy, right? It's crazy, Pei. Because when you really, right, Danny? When you really think about it, right? You got Obama, right? So they created this guy, Obama, from nowhere. Where's he from? We go through these things all the time, every day, right? So they created this presidency. They sent them out to Al-Azhar University, first thing, right? Soros is. And Mohammed Javad Zarif confirmed that Soros is working with the mullahs. He did. So that vector is clear. But what's happened is what we believe is, right? Because there was a lot of money, a lot of Islam money out there. So, these cats from the deep state, CIA, FBI, they don't get paid, right? They run the country. They pick and choose, absolutely pay. They pick and choose the presidents, and they pick the most compromised. And then they use the surrogates like Soros, like Black Lives Matter, radical Islamists, right? On the U.S.-Mexican border. Confusion. They know who they are. They know who they monitor. They monitor, right? They make sure there's no nuclear bombs coming in here. They monitor so there's no existential threat. As long as they know there's no existential threat to this country, they're on money making. Let's get Bama out in Al-Azhar University, make that speech to Muslim Brotherhood. Then they cool Mubarak, put Morsi in, and Obama's sending $1.5 billion with 5 jet fighters to Morsi, Mohammed Morsi. Anti-America, pro-Israel, pro-Omar Bashir, pro-Muslim Brotherhood. And Muslim Brotherhood, as we discussed, the history with the Islamic Republic of Iran is pretty much there, right? It goes all the way from Omar al-Bashir. They helped al-Bashir coup in South Sudan in '89. So, I mean, the IRGC. What up, my brother Rumba? So this is crazy, right? So this is how they looked at the Islam, a lot of Islam money. During the Clinton time, it was China money, right? China, and that's why that cover up with the DOE with Clinton was important for the Clinton administration to get the money, right? Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for the retweets. So now we got that Islam money out there, right? And Obama played the game of we're gonna and this was brought out by Dinesh D'Souza in his documentary Obama 2016. He said Obama's looking to create the United States of Islam, and he's right. I think he's right. Like I say all the time, I'm on the outside looking in. I'm on my couch in Brooklyn. No U.S. congressional oversight committees, no international atomic energy agencies, no Joint Chief of Staff, no National Security Council, no access to classified docs, nor do I know anyone has access to classified docs. Absolutely there, Danny K. Court papers, judges' decisions, peer-reviewed journal articles. You're probably right, champ. Court papers, judges' decisions, peer-reviewed journal articles, and well-sourced, well-researched open-source articles. What we're searching for is a quasi-model, quote-unquote statistical significance or likelihood or probability. We look for trends, differences, and patterns in the data, and then we attempt to conceivably reach reasonable, responsible conclusions. And by the way, we believe our conclusions are close. Classified information is the mean. We're within the standard deviation of the mean. The Russo disclaimer. Are you serious? Yo, Greenwood. Is that a fact? Because that confirms what I was thinking. I was thinking a Muslim Sharia police. Wow. Because I got something like that over here too. You're probably right there, champ. He turned in Riyadh. You're probably right. Wow. Now, if that's the case, our suspicions are like on steroids. We're good, right? But let me just get back to what I was talking to Wapay, the Muslim Sharia police in Minneapolis, that the Qatari asset, which I got to finish reading the Alan Bender deposition. I haven't finished reading it. With Congresswoman Omar, and being a Qatari Erdogan asset. She's basically Erdogan's side piece. Erdogan's hitting that. Yeah. That's Erdogan's side piece. What up, Ramba man? So look, let me just, because I want to finish this because I'll bring this into today's stuff that I have. I have a few things today. Yeah, why am I not shocked, Pay, right? So we got Obama in Al-Azhar University. That's where Omar Abdel-Rahman graduated from. That's where Youssef Al-Qaradari graduated from. There are some. Wow, that's crazy, Pay. That's crazy. There's some. Now, listen to my language. There are some Muslim clerics from Al-Azhar University that believe ISIS is Islamic. Okay? So keep that in mind with Muslim Brotherhood, because basically, when you look at this thing, the Islamists, the radical Islamists, the physical jihadists, the Salafist jihadists, the ones that believe in a physical, horrible, right? The ones that believe in a physical jihad in the name of Allah, right? What they do is what's going on with this country. They send the radical Islamists out there. They blow buildings up. They tear countries down. Look at Syria, right? Look at Iraq. Look at Yemen, right? Look at Beirut. Look at Sudan. Look at Somalia. They tear countries apart. And then, like what they did with America, right, Pay? What they did with America, they send in the educated Muslims. Muslim Brotherhood. So the education, what up, Gizmo? The educated Muslims over here is like, for example, Attorney Crum, the guy that's representing George Floyd, right? What a ruse this is. This is really bad, right? Because we're looking at it basically at a coup d'etat on America. This is what this is. This is basically a coup d'etat on America, right? Destroy, like, and yesterday, what up, Jim? Yesterday, you saw it on the Martha McCollum show. She had Black Lives Matter cat, and this dude was saying, if we don't get, you're right, Greenwood, if we don't get what we want, we're burning this mud down. That's what he said, right? That's what he said, right? That's what they said. That's what he said. And this is the strategy. And why am I not shocked? Soros is working with the Islamic Republic of Iran. Ask Mohammed Javad Zarif. That's the confirmation. He confirmed it in the open source in an interview that Soros, the open society, is working with Iran. Iran ships in Black Lives Matter activists to attend New Horizons conferences on police brutality in America. So what we got here, 99.9% of these so-called, absolutely, champ, of these so-called police brutality cases are basically black youth pushing back on the police, and then the police pushing back, and then you got the video that doesn't look, but you don't know what actually went down. So 99.9% of the cases, the cops were right. The cops are right. So this is a lie that's being spread. Because they don't want us to be together. They want everybody, they want white fighting black, they want black fighting white. That's what they want. They want all this chaos in the streets. Because we got a November election coming up, right? It's crazy. They would never. I can only imagine, JM. I can only imagine. I can only imagine what's in this country as far as what Iran. And you know, the mullahs are going down. The mullahs are going to implode. My concern is who's taking over. And I'm going to be a very vocal, like I am now, worse. Because now I'm worried about the CIA, the Hudson Institute, pushing Reza Pahlavi. Very concerned. Look at from West Asia. Look at the streets in New York. Look at the streets from West Asia, Iran, from Tehran. Look at the streets in New York, right? They got Soros is kicking in, the Khomeini's kicking in, they're shipping in Black Lives Matter, and you heard the guy yesterday. He talked about, now I'm a God-fearing Christian man of Christ, man of the Rosary. Right? This kid confessed that he was a Christian, this guy from Black Lives Matter. But he had a very perverse interpretation of Christ. He said Christ is a radical revolutionary. The revolution Christ was talking about is of the heart, an internal revolution. If anybody knows anything about Christ, Christ is everybody. Christ had to be rejected because Christ is everybody. And that's the beauty of Christ. And this guy was talking that Christ is black, and he implied that Christ was crucified because he was black, and that's a very base interpretation of Christ, quite frankly. Very base. Because Christ is up. Christ is for everybody. You white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Jewish. Christ is for everybody. Everybody. Christ was Middle Eastern. Truth be told. He is, Pay, but for the grace of God. But now, we got this guy leading Black Lives Matter. Perverse. He's Jeremiah Wright. The Jeremiah Wright garbage. Barack Hussein Obama, right? Says he's he's a Muslim, he's a Christian, he's knocking Christ on the Sermon on the Mount, but he's a Muslim, but he's a Christian. He's got 3 daddies. Did you see the picture the video that I found on Michelle Michael? Oh my God. Yo, Greenwood, go down my thing on my profile. My God, it's scary. It's scary. I just couldn't look at it. I saw it once. I said, that's it. It's ridiculous. Michael Michelle is Michael Michelle. Those kids are not theirs. It's on my Twitter account. I blogged it. Go to Malik knows, right? There you go, Greenwood, right? And we've been following it. Go to #Russo Show and go to my latest. Well, let's, Jim, let's not get, let's go to latest Russo Show. Go to latest and you'll see. Listen, Jim, Trump had to pick a side, right? Trump's thrown in. Trump wins on the greatest upset in the history of U.S. presidential politics. He defeated Operation Side Piece. He defeated the CIA and the FBI. He beat them. That's why you got Operation Frankenstein with all this crossfire from Flynn to Manafort to that guy to George Papadopoulos. I mean, all of this against all the Trump associates. Anything to do with Trump before he gets sworn in, right? So Trump had to pick a side, right? Obama was Sunni, and then what I believe, and I was about to talk about this, not all of Saudi funded 9/11. Not all of Saudi funded. I'm not saying that there weren't. Prince Talaweed was probably one of them, right? Not every Saudi national billionaire is with Muslim Brotherhood and looking to blow up buildings like they did with Sadat, right? They whacked Sadat in a military procession. Omar Abdul Rahman, the blind sheik, was on the case until they were going to kill him in a military procession. So, you got to get your facts straight, bro. Do you want to go toe to toe with me on this stuff, Jim? Seriously. You want to go toe to toe with me on this? Seriously. Omar Abdul Rahman. Where's he from? Where's Ramzi from? Where's Khalid Sheikh Mohammed from? Where's Muhammad Atta from? Where's Anwar al-Awlaki from? Where's Abu Alima from? Where's Shajid Ali from? Where's the ambassador to the Sudanese mission from? Mohammed Youssef Ahmed. Where's he from? You want to go through them all? I got more. Big Kumu. Where's Abu Yahya al-Libi from? Abu Hamza Mashri from? Where's Abu Yahya al-Libi from? Where's Yassin al-Suri from? Where's Mushin al-Fadali from? You want me to keep going? They're not Saudis. Wow. They're not Saudis. Here's the thing. I don't want to get off the subject anymore. Obama is in a conference with a Russian official. We got him on tape saying, listen, I can't do anything for you until after 2012. I can't do anything for you until after 2012. Tell Vladimir I can't. Imagine if that was Trump. Oh my God, right? They had him on a phone call. They were impeaching him. They made up that he was a Russian KGB agent, and they were looking to throw him out of office with a big $40 million report, and it came off on a Hannity show, right? That hey, they had what is that again? The exculpatory evidence that in a week into exculpatory evidence, a week into the Mueller investigation, that Trump was innocent. A week or two in. This is crazy, right? But that tells you about the corruption. So Obama's at this, I don't know, I don't remember exactly where he was, but he was with this Russian senior official that was very close to Vladimir Putin. And he told him, after 2012, I could be more flexible. Now, right away, the open source domain jumped on it. And they said, he's talking about the defense system. I don't think so. I think it's more than that. What I think it was the Iranian nuke deal. Oh, yeah. That's a big money deal, right? That's $150 billion. And you figure 2 points on that deal. They don't. Qatar doesn't play games. Qatar, right? Not to get off the subject, though. So 2 points of $150 billion. This was a institutional trade. 2 points. 2 points. Come on, Danny. There's nobody with more candor than Donald John Trump as President of the United States. The most honest president we've ever had. Are you kidding me? Seriously. If you understand politics, Donald John Trump has the most candor, the most honesty of any president we've ever had. Truth be told. So, Obama gets 2 points on the 150. That's $3 billion. Out over there. Who's fronting? Who's Obama fronting for? CIA, FBI. Money. Islam. Right, Greenwood? Islam money was why Obama. They put Obama in that stuff. See, this is the deal with the deep state, right? CIA, FBI. This is their game. God bless you, Johnny. This is their game, right? This is their game. They go, okay, no existential threats, we're good. As long as there's no existential threats to our nation, we're good, right? Obama is our greatest creation. They created him from the bottom up. They gave him a wife. This was a lot of rudimentary work on Obama. We're talking 5 years, 5 to 10 years to get to this point. This was developed and nurtured. Muslim money, right? Come on, man. This is corruption, right? So what do? They built Obama. Wife, kids, doggy, fake birth certificate, fake. They made him eligible, right? Then they right? And we talk about this all the time. The Senate and the House have no term limits. They go, oh, give me the Nancy Pelosi file. Okay. Give me the Mitch McConnell file. Okay. Give me the, what's his name? Give me Dianne Feinstein's file. Okay. Let's go have a meeting now, right? And they'll send one of the, it doesn't have to be the top guys, just that they know how to maneuver, right? This is crazy. This is how it is, right? So now, we'll go back again. Operation Ace of Spades. This is the greatest operation. They send it to Al-Azhar. He makes the speech. He's making peace. He's bringing the Muslims together, right? Right. It's all about money. This is all about the Islam money. That's what this is all about. Islam money. Are you kidding? Look at the Iranian trade. He was sending hundreds of millions of dollars to Before, so because this is what I'm saying, the first 4 years was Sunni. That's why I'm looking at this. This is how I'm looking at it. I may be wrong. I'm not saying but we're close. I'm saying the first 4 years of administration was Sunni money, right? I'm telling you, Greenwood, right? With Obama, the first 4 years was Sunni money. The last 4 years was Shiite money. Iran. Oh my God. He hit the jackpot with Iran. Oh my God. Right? Nothing was getting in Obama's way. CIA, FBI. For that Shiite money. For the Iran money. Come on. Come on. We had Project Cassandra. They squashed that. The DIA agents. We had the Counterproliferation Initiative inside the DOJ. Obama squashed that too. Those were basically, the Counterproliferation Initiative was basically a management team inside the DOJ globally surveilling any foreign enemy actors attempting to aid and abet the Islamic Republic of Iran's nuclear ambitions. So they would try to coax and coerce individuals, businesses in friendly jurisdictions and hit them up on criminal charges. They had them. She is a trainee. You got to look at my Twitter feed. It's there. The video is unbelievable. I couldn't only look at it once. It was so sick. It's sick. It's so sick. It's beyond belief. It really is. So it's crazy. But hey, when it comes down to it, quite frankly, I really don't care. You know, alternative life, whatever people do in their bedroom, I really don't care. It's the fact that this is the first family they're lying. What are they? If they're lying about stuff like this, their family, if it's a family, it's not a family. What are they really lying about, right? But anyway, so that was the Counterproliferation Initiative. Then we had the Project Cassandra. That was drug enforcement agents shutting down. They globally surveil the illicit drug trafficking of Hezbollah. Hezbollah's on the U.S.-Mexican border. Obama shut this whole thing down, allowed Hezbollah to smuggle drugs into America in order. I'm telling you, they were. Oh my God, beyond belief, pay right? Russia. So the point is that money is what Obama was probably talking about, in addition to what the open source was saying. The Iranian nuke deal was what he was really addressing. Tell Vladimir that I could be more flexible. That deal is going to pop after 12. It pops after 12. Right. And they almost ate it. The cigar almost blew up with Benghazi. That's one of the crimes in the Obama-Clinton crime family, was Benghazi. Oh my God. That would have took down the entire administration. And the Benghazi, as Morsi, the coup on Mubarak, is the reasons why, and the Islam money is the reasons why Obama was such a asset. Obama was the deep state asset. Are you kidding? Obama was the CIA. Obama was the deep state asset. There it is. Obama was their asset. Like Hillary Clinton was their asset. Like Biden is their asset. Biden's sitting on a lot of dough. Right? Biden's sitting on a lot of dope, hey. There you go. Benghazi, what he did with Benghazi, because Benghazi was like like the cigar blows up in their face. It blew up in their face. Because now they got 20,000 Soviet man-pads because of the cooing of Gaddafi, which was a debacle, right? Not only did they have the man-pads out there, so Obama, walking around like ISIS is a JV team, he gave the Al-Qaeda in Libya, which was on steroids, the Sunni terrorists were on steroids, so he armed them up. And then to top it off, the Obama-Clinton crime family, the Obama-Clinton State Department, sends 400 U.S. stingers over there. This is a joke, what he's doing. And then he says, not anymore. I'm telling you, Greenwood. So, and then he sends our kids there, right? He sends the men and women of the United States Armed Forces to Afghanistan, I read just one of the articles that Tillman. I'll read it again, not tonight. What Tillman wrote about what happened in Afghanistan, what happened in Iraq, what happened in Syria, what happened in Yemen. He killed us in Iraq. He killed us in Afghanistan. Bombing did. Killed us. Killed us. So this operation that Operation Ace of Spades, beyond belief. Beyond belief. And that's why, because basically the deep state, CIA, FBI, because I believe I believe. I mean, I don't have it for a known, outside looking in. I have the Russo disclaimer. I believe there's a CIA, FBI nexus. Clandestine, we'll never know, right? Very clandestine, very, that's intelligence, right? Counter to the counter to the counter, misinformation, disinformation. That's the intelligence game, right? That's the game. But two things. As long as there's no existential threat in America, where there's a nuke bomb that we don't know that came in through the U.S.-Mexican border or the northern border, right? Or there's something going on in Venezuela because they got 5,000 SA-24s. Telling you, Greenwood, right? They're playing Islam money, right, with Obama, and they were getting ready because China was the next move again, right? Because the William Jefferson Clinton operation, which was another one, right? I'm just thinking of a name. I'm up to like Operation Razorback or Operation Hogwash, the William Jefferson thing. Because the William Jefferson administration was Chinese money. Oh my God, right? Chinese money. China. What Bill Clinton did with China. He had Chinese nationals sending him money beyond belief, the corruption with China. So William Jefferson Clinton, the deep state, because Ross Perot was there to stop HW. They wanted the Chinese money. They wanted no more HW in the White House. They wanted to bring in the flawed, corrupt, bring the Arkansas Act to the White House. You're right, Greenwood. I agree with you. You're 100% right. HW, I don't know everything about his, because I know he was a CIA director. But HW, in my book, 51 missions as an Air Force combat pilot during World War II. That's big league in my book. HW. That's big league. That's a big time American right there. 51! Not one. 51. That's crazy, bro. HW. So now, let's go to today. We talked about Operation. So we're going to get to, yeah, you're right, champ, right? Well, they hate Trump, so that's pretty definitive. So we're looking at basically an attempted coup d'etat on America, right? Destroy the country. We already had the Black Lives Matter. Maybe it could happen. It could have happened. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I gotta give him somewhat of a benefit of a doubt based on his service, right? I was trying to get Greenwood. I was trying to give John McCain some of a benefit of a doubt, right? Because his politics is like sick. I don't understand it, right? Father was an admiral in the Navy. Grandfather was an admiral in the Navy. He went to Annapolis, captain in the Navy. And look at his politics. What the hell happened to John McCain, right? A distinguished family background. What the heck happened to John McCain, right? That's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? But just to keep things, because we saw the Black Lives Matter dude get on television claiming that, and what really messed me up with this cat, because I'm not, you know how I feel about, he was Greenwood. You know how I feel about Black Lives Matter. What up, BG? Terrorist, Antifa terrorists. These are terrorist groups. I'm not down with chaos and violence, but nobody wants to really say that we have the young people today are unfortunately violent. And nobody wants to say that. Right? People rather say, you know, the 99.9% of cops, right? So you got an incident where you got pushback. I hear you, brother. Absolutely, Greenwood. And you get the pushback from the black youth, and the cops push back. Then they get the video, and they play with the media, right? But nobody will talk about the 18 murders in Chicago. Black on black crime. Nobody wants to talk about that. So, in other words, if the dude that put the knee on George Floyd, if he was black, it was okay, right? This is sick. Then you got this perverse guy coming on talking about Christ, and it's like so base. The whole Black Lives Matter movement is so base because it's being funded by all the way to West Asia, right? Between Soros and West Asia, and what else is going on, either directly or indirectly, between China with the Wuhan, the allowing the spread of it through the Wuhan residents, and Iran's 55 times into China, the Malwan Air, and then you got the Caracas Margarita Island, and it's all hands on deck with America and North America, whether it's from Canada or whether it's from the U.S.-Mexican border. So it doesn't, champ. It doesn't fit, and it would keep everybody. You see, because it's the truth. It's like what Tupac said. Tupac said, "White people, your fear of the criminals. Guess what? Black people fear them too." Tupac said that. His implication was the criminals that are in the black neighborhoods. You fear them, white people? So do the black people. That's why I believe this Black Lives Matter, this Antifa, the lefty white boys, and the Black Lives Matter group are not reflective of the neighborhoods. They're really not. They're not. Absolutely agree. Without Trump, the country would be seriously in jeopardy. They are paid terrorists. They are. Exactly, champ. Exactly. Why aren't they protesting in Chicago? Right? And the people would be together. The people would, in my church, I have all Christians from all walks of life in my church. White, black, Haitian, Hispanic. I got everything in my church. We all get along because of Christ. Everybody gets along. It's one love, Christ. But they don't want that. They want everybody fighting each other. Hey, you're probably right. I don't know if that 80, 90% is accurate. I really don't care, quite frankly. But the Black Lives Matter group is pretty prominent, as well as Antifa. I think Antifa is bringing the military. There you go, Greenwood. I think Tupac was well ahead of his game. Well ahead. Tupac. And I think Tupac will be dead against this violence. I really do. Tupac was proud of who he was proud of his heritage, and he was a smart kid. A rough estimate, I don't think it was 80, 90% white. I think it's maybe 60-40. I think is a better estimate because I've seen too much on the internet of racial, black on white, too much, man. Really bad. So these people are stoking the racial flames to keep the violence and the chaos on the streets, and everybody's separated. And because God forbid, if we focused on the real problems, which basically in these cities is the crime within the black neighborhoods, right? I don't know. I can't actually say it's more whites than blacks, but whatever it is, it's a black-white group. Antifa, lefty white boys, and Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, and then they got the Black Panthers, right? I mean, come on, man. This is a problem, right? And basically, we could identify this inside of the Black Congressional Caucus. I talk about this all the time. I believe in the Martin Luther King, the Christian side of the Black Congressional Caucus. That's where I come from. But this is hijacked by the Palestinian Authority Hamas side of this thing with the Nation of Islam, Louis Farrakhan, anti-Jew, because Black Lives Matter is anti-Jew, and so is Antifa anti-Jew. Farrakhan is anti-Jew. And you could see the influence of the Islamists, the radical Islamists, when you listen to this guy talk. He referred to Christ as a radical revolutionary, which is the furthest thing from the truth. Furthest thing from the truth. He referred to Christ as a radical revolutionary. So he's hanging out with the Muslim clerics are influencing him. Jeremiah Wright, Obama's a Muslim, he's a Christian. Fringy, base way of looking at Christ. Very base. And this is basically, and he said it, pick a day and we meet somewhere and just get this done, right? I agree with it, man. So, just to let you understand the craziness out there, I ran into this blog today. And I tell you, I was so, I couldn't believe it. That this lady, this woman, would blog this. She's an actress. She's not stupid. They love each other. Of course, babe. Iran loves Farrakhan. Iran loves Soleimani. Of course. Come on, man. Of course. What up? I ran into this blog by Christian Bell. I couldn't pass it up. It was so ridiculous. Here's a woman living the dream. Living the American dream. She's living. This chick is living the American dream. Christian Bell. She's a cute little blonde, smart, witty, a lot of energy, great career, living the dream. This chick is living the dream. What? Hollywood, television, movies. This chick is living a career actors would kill for, right? Living the dream. She says, this is time. She said, she had a blog. It's on my Twitter feed. This is a time to acknowledge our acts of complicity. Listen to this. Reference to this rioting, the rioting basically. Here's one of mine, she says. She's referring to herself. Playing the Molly in Central Park shows a lack of awareness of her own pervasive privilege. Casting a mixed race character with a white actress undermines the specificity of the mixed race and Black American experience. What the heck are you talking about? Unbelievable. Are you serious? Oh my goodness. This chick has got a career that's beyond belief. Who are you? You're living the dream. Go live it, honey. For the grace of God Almighty, God has blessed you. Go live it. This is dumb. This is the stupidest stuff I've ever heard in my life. I couldn't believe it. Christian Bell. Who does stuff like this? So here's a blog by Tom Fitton. This guy's top notch. You got to go judicialwatch.org and donate. This guy is top notch. If it wasn't, and they're very, they're fair. Just that things are so one-sided against Trump, it appears like he's for Trump, but really they're just against government corruption all the way around. So he blogged because he has the picture of. This is on my Twitter blog. Just look at my Twitter tweets. Black Lives Matter leader states, if U.S. doesn't give us what we want, we will burn down this system beyond belief. This is a coup d'etat in America. And he says it on national television, on Fox News. Martha McCollum, she tries to be fair, but she gave him too much. She should have pushed back on him and took him off. She shouldn't have been. She's a little too soft with him. She should have went hard on him. She let him control the segment. That's why it wasn't a good segment. And let him deal with the fact that he's not in control of this segment. And if you didn't like it, then you kick to a commercial. She never should have let him control the segment. That was not good. But those two vectors, those are the two vectors that I see. Wait, let me see what else I did. I did two today. Let me see what else I got. I saw exactly, Tony, exactly. I agree with you. I agree. Tucker would have made him look like a jerk. I agree. Tucker's a smart guy. I don't agree. Tucker today talked about Trump, and the election. That is a chance that he won't be successful. Which that was the same situation with Clinton, right? 92%, October 20th, 2016. 92% chance. New York Times said that Clinton's going to beat Trump. Didn't happen. Right? I'm telling you, don't underestimate the Trump machine. Now, also, the Latin vote. Trump's firewall is the Latin vote. It's going to be a lot higher. I'm not saying he's going to get the majority, but it's going to be more than he got in 16. And it's going to put him over the top. If it's going to be close. Because this could go either way. This could be like 16 and tight. He won handily, but it was a lot tighter. Or it could be a landslide for Trump. It could. Because, right now we're only in July. August, we're not even July yet. July, August, September, October. 4 months in politics is a lifetime. I'm just saying. And, who he picks for VP, he could put Michelle Obama there. He's going to lose. Biden could put Michelle Obama there. I think he's going to put Hillary Clinton there. That's my opinion. I think he's putting H-Rod there. H-Rod is going to be his VP. He don't make that decision. Neither does the chair of the DNC, Tom Perez, make that decision. He don't make that decision. His surrogates don't make that decision. The deep state makes that decision. From the CIA, FBI, they're making that decision. You better believe it. Because Biden is just there as a, they're going to step on him like you wouldn't believe. So, well, they're going to try, obviously, right? They tried to do it. That's part of the way that's Operation Frankenstein, right? Operation Frankenstein, quite frankly. Because I believe Operation Frankenstein, which is the creation of the Biden presidency, he's shot. Like Hillary was shot. Hillary was a retread. She was shot. Obama was created from its infancy. He was created. 5 to 10 years of the rudimentary work to get Obama to where he was, where they had him they had the whole thing, and they even got him a birth certificate. They got him a selective service registration card. They got him. He was a Muslim. They made him a Christian. They got him a tranny wife, and they even got his wife was a tranny. This is crazy. This is the greatest. The Operation Ace of Spades is the greatest intel operation that we know of. Obviously, we don't know. I mean, the CIA, FBI is, these are tremendous operatives. So they're good. And they're good what they do. I don't agree with everything that they do. Whacking of John F. Kennedy or putting cancerous tumors inside of American prisoners. That was the crude side of the CIA. Now it's because of the internet, so now we're not even talking about. We've talked somewhat of the social media. And I guess resist. I don't think, honestly, I think Trump, knowing Trump, Trump wants to win so much. Trump's got to have something up his sleeve. I'm telling you. That's what I believe. I believe Trump right now is playing, listen, I could go out there and shut this down right away. He's taking a wait and see. He's being a little coy. That's Donald Trump, right? He's taking a wait and see. He's been a little coy. We're not even in July yet. If this thing still continues, Trump's going to be a little more forceful, I think, within the next 4 to 8 weeks with this whole thing, with this coup d'etat in America, and we're going to burn it down and all this stuff, right? I just think Trump now is being cool. Always, Tony. He's a lot smarter than he's given credit for, to be honest, right? He's very, I don't know about that. All I know is, Greenwood, all I know is that we got 4 months to go. Trump's got a machine. And what he did today shows that Trump is ready to win, right? He had the thing with Sean Hannity, and I thought it was brilliant. The way it was brilliant. Match slap. Really? That's interesting. You're talking Mercedes' husband? Wow. You're talking about Mercedes' husband? That chick's husband? Yeah. If we have him, Tony, I don't know. I hate to be so cynical. Okay, Greenwood. But I hate to be so cynical, I hate to be so cynical. But if the Democrats had their way, because look, they're doing a virtual convention. And Trump already Trump already intimated that he's already been hearing. Okay, I don't know. Maybe you're right, Greenwood. Maybe you're right. But I'll tell you this much: Trump has already intimated in his interview with Sean Hannity today that he's hearing the voices from the Biden campaign that he's not going to show, that is a chance that he doesn't show up. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is being run the same way they did with Hillary Clinton, right? But they figure now they got him. Why do they figure they got him? They figure right now they got Trump, they think. Let's look, right? The streets are in chaos. The virus, between the virus and the streets, right? There you go. Great point. That's a great point. I like that. Virtual debate so we can wear the earpiece. Yeah, because he's going to want to wear two, right? The questions go in, the answer goes in the other one, right? And that's a great point. Greenwood, point well taken. I like that. Point well taken. A virtual debate. That may be the way they can edge off. I want to debate you, but the COVID. We talked about this, right? The COVID. Hillary won one too. I didn't even know that. Look at that. Hillary won one. Biden is going to wear two. And he may even have a mic. Because if he's not getting it quick enough, he could say, hurry up with the answer. I don't, it's going to be sick, but they're going to do it, Monarch, right? We're just talking about the debate. Because Trump has already said that he's getting word from whispers about Biden not showing up. Absolutely, Greenwood. So you got to figure, right? They think they got Trump where they want him. The CIA, FBI is still doing the same things they've been doing since Bill Clinton, right? Now it's Operation Frankenstein. They did the Crossfire, which is basically the precursor of Operation Frankenstein, the creation of the shot, can't put words together, can't put a sentence together, Biden, the presidency of Biden. Who's going to be the Veep? Either Hillary Clinton, which I think I'm still sticking with Hillary Clinton, H-Rod, Michelle Obama, or I think the outsider could be Kamala Harris. There you go, Monarch, right? So they believe they got Trump, right? Between Pelosi and the way they're leveraging and the way they're controlling the news cycle with these issues, they think they're controlling the electorate, quite frankly, with this, between the COVID, the pandemic, absolutely, Greenwood, and this Black Lives Matter, Antifa, chaos in the streets, riots. So they think with the racial, the police reform thing, all this stuff, they think they're controlling this news cycle, which they think it's in their favor, right? So let's look at this, right? Cooler heads prevail, right? I listened to Tucker Carlson. He's a smart guy, no doubt. I mean, the writing of his segments are very interesting, and some of his presentations that he put forth, how the police is right now. That one was really really very powerful. The woman calling up the 9/11 and the police station not responding because the Democratic politicians got them on stand down, basically, right? So that was pretty very powerful. But I still believe that Trump is still in the position to do some serious electoral damage. I think Trump, if he, especially today, what he did today, if he continues to do these things today and maybe actually stages one, orchestrates one where he's actually doing like an infomercial and where he could just replay it to the election, I think it'd even be more powerful, you know? Yeah, so exactly. And right, and you reminded me of the other one, the other tweet that I blogged. Right, this one here. This tweet is the kicker for me. I mean, there's so many, but this tweet by AOC, which according to Scott D. Cheney, to reopen New Jersey, she deleted it, but before she deleted it, it was shared over 20,000 times. She says in her tweet, it's vital that governors maintain restrictions on businesses until after the November election because economic recovery will help Trump be reelected. A few business closures or job losses is a small price to pay to be free from his presidency. Beyond, this is a congresswoman inside of, this is like Congresswoman Omar blogging Allah Akbar less than 2 weeks from Benghazi. Right, Greenwood? This is crazy. What else more do we need to know what's going on, right? Very bad, Tony, right? Absolutely. Right? Unbelievable, Monarch, right? So this is crazy. So Trump is in the I still think, in all honesty, I still think Trump is in the driver's seat with this election. It may look like in the public domain, Trump is, okay. Trump was getting rocked in 2016 by the open domain, right? The New York Times, October 20th, 2 weeks from the election, had Hillary Clinton with a 92% chance of winning. On the day of the election, up until the time before he won Florida in the public domain, Hillary Clinton had an 85% chance of winning the election. They didn't call his election till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when it should have been called, according to Brett Hume, who's not a Trump guy. You're right, Greenwood. Who's not a Trump guy. He said the election should have been called about 10:30, 11 o'clock for Trump. So with that being said, we have a different ball game. Now, so let's look at it. Let's look at the Democrats. Is Biden bigger than Hillary? I don't think so. That's why, right? Well, that's not the reason why Hillary's going to get there. There's other reasons why they want Hillary in the VP spot, right? Biden, to me, is a weak candidate. Very weak. He's got a lot of baggage. That's why he's there, right? Oh my God, so compromised. I don't know who's more compromised. I'm like in a toss-up. The Obama presidency, the Hillary Rodham Clinton, Bill Clinton, the William Jefferson Clinton presidency, the Hillary Rodham Clinton. She didn't become president, but that whole presidency thing, and now the Biden thing, right? I don't know who's more compromised, but these people are very compromised. So the CIA, FBI is right on this. So they picked Biden, right? The DNC operatives They may think that they had something to do with Biden being the nominee, but in essence, this is all coming from the CIA, deep state, rogue, the nexus, the CIA deep state nexus that pretty much, as long as there's no existential threat inside of America, this is their focal point. Right? Like they pushed Obama for the Islam money, Clinton was for the China money. Now Biden. Biden's sitting on a lot of money. Right? A lot. He knows where he knows where all the bodies are buried. That's not why he's there. I think he's there because he's worried about his son Hunter and what they would do to him or might do to him if he doesn't run. That's why I think he's running, because he doesn't need this. He doesn't want his son to go to jail, because only God knows what Joe Biden did while sitting as vice president, what Hunter did. So he's running and he's there because of Hunter. I believe they're leveraging him, right? And that's why you can't rule out Michelle, but Michelle may be a little risky because of a lot of things that are coming out on Michelle. And I think really who they really want there is Hillary, because Hillary's their insurance policy, basically. I think they're looking at Hillary Clinton for the first time as a real asset. She was an asset in 2016. I'm not going to lie. She was their asset, and they went to great lengths to make sure she was their asset. They had the FBI bleach biting her hardware, right? They destroyed all her hardware. They had Comey exonerated, FBI director. Where in the Constitution does an FBI director pardon? Right? Only the president does that. Comey did it. And we analyzed that pretty deeply. July 5th, 2016. So they're bleach biting. They're making Hillary Clinton eligible. Right? They made her eligible. She was doing all their work when she was Secretary of State. She had to serve in the basement of a house running an intelligence agency. Who do you think she was doing that for? Herself? No. No. That's the CIA deep state. And that's where they got into Benghazi. They coup Mubarak, all this stuff. That's why they put Obama there. That's why they wanted Hillary there, because they're going to do more of that. They got the Islam money. So, Biden's sitting on a lot of money. Oh, that's true? Wow. That's crazy. Wow. So, that's crazy. Wow. That's interesting. So we'll see how that affects the Veep spot. Because she probably never expected that she had to testify. It was like she and Barack Hussein Obama sponsored a resolution making John McCain a natural-born American citizen because he was born on the Panama Canal, and Hillary Clinton thinking that John McCain is going to be the opposition, and she's going to be the president, and Barack Hussein Obama is going to be the Veep. Well, I got you, Tony. Wow. So now so that's going to be interesting. We'll see how that affects her chances for the Veep spot. That could. I don't know. But I'm thinking it's going to be Hillary for the Veep spot. She's their insurance policy. And they'll do a way to finagle it, and she's able to run. Let's say that's, in all likelihood or probability, that's what they're going to do. She'll get around it in some way. They'll find a loophole or something, or what she said on the oath, which she said, they manipulate the whole thing. So she's going to run as the Veep. She's their insurance policy, basically. Because they want, Operation Side Piece was Hillary Clinton. The side piece being the server in the basement of her house. So now we're in Operation Frankenstein. And we got all of this crossfire coming in with Peter Strzok, all of this stuff to slow Trump down, immediate. And Jeff Sessions was a problem, right? Jeff Sessions was a big problem for us because he allowed, if we had William Barr from the beginning, Trump wouldn't be with the situation he has now with Nancy Pelosi breathing down his neck. Truth be told, the Attorney General's spot is probably just as important or more important as the Secretary of State spot because that's the DOJ, right? The DOJ oversees the FBI, right? Probably right. I mean, he was recusing himself from everything. He recused himself from everything, from the Clinton email scandal to the. I mean, he was just one big recusal. Trump was flipping out. I just couldn't understand that. So now we got Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Peter Strzok. Lisa Page is Monica Witt, an Iranian spy inside the FBI. Possibility. So what's going on, right? I mean, so this Crossfire Hurricane with, and then we got this. Who's that guy's name? Slazvik. Is he an agent? I forgot to look him up because he's on the paper with Strzok, because we had Obama talking to Comey. We talked about it last night. Talking to Comey, saying, Obama with a straight face, 3 daddies, 3 birthplaces. He's a Muslim. He's a Christian. We don't even know who this guy is. Saying, could we trust Trump with the national security? Are you kidding me? I just couldn't get over that. I could not get over that. So we got Comey, Obama, Sally Yates, I think, and Peter Strzok. And they got with this insurance policy. So this group, this was the precursor to Operation Frankenstein. This was the beginnings of the creation of Biden's presidency. They had they used this thing with WikiLeaks and whatever to try, and obviously with the Pfizer warrant, because the Pfizer warrant was, that's part of the evidence. Those vectors prove to us that there's a deep state, right? The 4 vectors we talk about all the time, and that's one of them. The Pfizer warrant, based upon the fake Trump dossier, produced the warrant for to surveil the foreign enemy actors, and then the Americans that were talking with them, they unmasked them and leaked them. Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. And with the way they handled the other Trump surrogates was the beginnings to attempt to slow Trump down. Fortunately, we had a president that's pretty creative off the dribble, pretty creative outside the box, and he got a lot accomplished. But in came the pandemic, right? In came, and then after that, they hit him with this planned, orchestrated attack on our streets. So they unleashed, they're feeding these kids with money. We have Black Lives Matter groups on here, and it comes all the way from West Asia, Iran. Black Lives Matter was in Iran. So they juiced them up, they beefed them up, they fed them, they gave them money. They had them thinking like they're all this anti-American sentiment, and it was planned and contrived. And also, there's Open Society with George Soros. There's evidence that he's working with Black Lives Matter, and according to Mohammed Zarif, the Islamic Republic of Iran. So West Asia, then you have China. And if you look at this, Trump is putting the heel into President Xi with the tariffs, right? Trump shut down the money that was going to some deep state cats, right, on these bad one-sided trade deals until Trump came. So that's a pushback on Trump. And then what he did with Iran, not only did he pull out of the fake Iranian nuke deal, and not only does he sanction Iran up with everything, he shot Khomeini's son. He whacked Khomeini's son, right? Thank you, Johnny Baxter. Thank you for the retweets. He whacked Khomeini's son, General Soleimani. He was their spiritual leader. He was the leader of the special ops of the IRGC. So they're not with us militarily, but they're very good in their own terrain, Iran, and how they move. The land bridge and Soleimani had that land bridge. He watched that. He guarded that land bridge from Tehran to Baghdad, and you had 90 degrees north. You're in, yo, Greenwood, 90 degrees north from Baghdad, you're in Kirkuk. There it is. $7.2 billion asset, the Kirkuk oil pipeline. 80 degrees, 180 degrees west, you're in Damascus. The command center, the Iranian command center. 2 hours away from Beirut, 100,000 rockets underground, more than any NATO country has above ground. That's what Soleimani was in charge of, among other things. Soleimani was their mover, was their general, was their spiritual leader. He moved, he tried to hit the Saudi ambassador to the United States inside the United States, U.S. Treasury. That was the 2011. He wasn't successful there, but he got Ambassador Stevens in Benghazi, unfortunately. And you got to thank the policies of the Obama-Clinton crime family. Very bad. Wow, that's crazy. I'm going to look into that there, Greenwood. So this is where we are now, right? So outside looking in, if you look at the public domain, the open source, you think the Democrats are winning, right? You got the chaos everywhere, right? You got streets on fire. You got Black Lives Matter going on. Wow, who's that? Oh, you're talking about the Saudi ambassador to the United States. Oh, right, the Saudi ambassador to the United States. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, in 2011, and the Mansour Abashur was meeting. Oh, is he? I don't know much about him. Is he paid? Wow. Well, the Iranian American Mansour Abashur was meeting, I think, a relative, a friend of his uncle from a senior official of the Quds Force, and Soleimani was heavily involved on the U.S.-Mexican border. They paid. What happened was they made a mistake. They paid Abashur, right? Exactly. And they paid $100,000 what they believed to be a Mexican drug cartel member. He ended up being a drug enforcement agent. There it is. And that's how they busted Mansour Abashur. So everybody outside looking in, people think the Democrats are winning on the streets, right? They're on fire, right? Black Lives Matter goes on Fox News. If we're not done with this, if we don't get what we want, we're burning it down. So they believe they took control, basically. The perception is, and politics is all of perception, the perception is that Democrats took control of the streets. And with the COVID, it put President Trump on the defensive. It took President Trump out of he was cruising along with his unbelievable economy, his unbelievable accomplishments, right? And unfortunately, wow, crazy pay. And unfortunately, it wiped away a lot of his gains, and his economy was that he created was amazing, right? So outside looking in, 22 million people out of the workforce, streets on fire, racial tensions, Black Lives Matter, they're in control of the streets. So all intents and purposes, I wouldn't be shocked, Greenwood, but he's, I don't know. I think Fauci is just a scientist. If he's involved, I know he has ties to Clinton, conceivably, but I think in that regard, Trump is in control, right? Dr. Fugazi, okay, I hear that. Okay, Trump is in control. We think it was a setup. I don't know. You see, because Trump is in a precarious position, right? He's got Fauci, he's got Barex, he's got Redfield, he's got Garan, and he's got the Surgeon General Adams. These are all top-notch doctors giving him advice. He's looking at the models. They're saying 1 to 2 million. What do? You do what Trump did. You overshoot. And you wait. He didn't wait too long. He said, now we're open. Unfortunately, the Democrats controlled some of these states. So Trump was calling for an opening in April. And you got, like, for example, Cuomo and de Blasio. Oh, my God. Good luck with that one. I'm over here in Brooklyn. I can tell you that. We don't know who's the bigger moron, Cuomo or De Blasio. Cuomo was in the streets with Black Lives Matter, laying in the streets with Black Lives Matter. That's how bad he is. Terrible. I don't know what's going on. Which terrorists? I don't know who's releasing them. Oh, you from Bensonhurst? Okay. So this is what we're looking at here, right? So on the outside, okay. I mean, I don't know, Greenwood. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want to keep it open yet until we swoon in with the vectors, right? Because what I'm seeing is really, I'm going to check that out. I got to see that. I don't know why. Maybe they're getting ready for I don't know. Maybe they're getting ready for a negotiation. You know. I don't know. I got to check that out, Pay. So, well, I don't know, right? Well, from one regard, you're right, Greenwood. Right now, the death rate is very low, right? The survival rate is very high, right? In that regard. Please do that, Pay. Remind me, so I'll do a search on Google and check it out. Because the way I'm looking at this thing, right? Right now, if we took a snapshot right now, because politics right now, obviously, it's 4 months out. So, that's a lifetime in politics, right? So let's see. Let's put the Trump hat on for a second. What's Trump thinking? Trump's going, okay, I got a high-powered campaign, and he does. He built himself in 4 years a campaign that's sick, right? You're probably right, Greenwood. You're probably right. That's a great point. You're probably right. And that goes into your argument with AOC. You're right. Conceivable. But let's not get on that. I don't want to get on that yet. I'm not saying you're wrong. I haven't pounced on it with the vectors yet. So I just want to, let's put the Trump hat on. I just want to see, where we are, right? Because Tucker hit Trump today saying that, about the election, right? And I thought Trump was smart today what he did. I'm hoping he does it more because they're going to try to cloud up his message. He accomplished a lot. He did a tremendous job in 4 years. So I'm hoping that eventually he does an orchestrated infomercial and just lets it run for like 4 to 6 weeks on what he accomplished before the virus and what he's going to do after. And those were the questions that Sean Hannity asked him, and it was great. Now, let's put the Trump hat on. Let's look at his campaign. It's on steroids, right? Ground game he didn't have in 16, he's got it. Social media was strong in 16, now it's on steroids. He's running algorithms. This guy's doing all this stuff, right? And then plus he's got the rallies. The rallies are very important because not only does he draw the crowds, but the information that he gets about his voters. Because you could say people that show up at these rallies, by and large, with a high level of certainty are voting for Trump. And he was getting numbers before the pandemic with 20% Democrats in the audience. That's sick. COVID hits. We got unemployment, 22 million. What's going on, right? And that's what we're trying to find out. We got to get away from the noise, get away from the streets. Trump is eventually gonna put the hammer down over there with an ASV, a few mini tanks in the streets, and that'll shut this whole thing down. He'll get control of the streets. And the pandemic, I hope there's no second wave. Trump handled it correctly. He overshot. It's better to overshoot than undershoot. You saw 1 to 2 million. He said, I'm gonna overshoot here, and he's hoping that he overshoots, and he did. And he got out of it right away. End of April, he was done. Unfortunately, we have the likes of the Cuomos and the de Blasios and the Newsoms and the rest of these Democratic rats. Gates did the virus. That's funny, right? So this is what's going on. So now we're not even July 4th yet, right? So mainstream media is claiming they think that the Democrats are in a good position. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I'm looking 16. Trump was new to this game. Trump didn't have what he has today. That's what I'm thinking. Right? Hillary Clinton was fixed to win. Trump won. Trump knows a lot more than he knew 4 years ago, obviously. And once again, they're underestimating Trump. So I'm thinking, what all of Trump has that he didn't have in 16, though at this moment the snapshot doesn't look good because of the chaos in the streets, Black Lives Matter, the racial unrest, the so-called racial unrest. I'm still saying, and I believe the Hispanic vote is going to be Trump's firewall. As long as Trump wins Florida, his electoral college opens up. He could win, right? Greenwood, he could win many different ways. So I still think, though mainstream media is trying to paint this picture that they think they got Trump, I don't think so. I think Trump, see, because I look at this thing, right? If the election was held today, let's say, let's look at this. If the election was held today, and so tomorrow morning the polls open up, 9 o'clock at night, the light goes on. Trump starts with 47, 48. What does Biden start with? We don't know. That's the whole point, right? Trump, he can't lose Florida. I agree with you. He can't lose Florida. So Trump's, as much as they're trying to, with Operation Frankenstein and all the things they're throwing at Trump, from the mail-in ballots, that's another thing, right? Now they brought in the mail-in ballots now. They're using the virus not only to keep the businesses down, to keep the businesses closed, and blame Trump for the virus he created in Wuhan lab, and that Trump is sadistic because he wanted to knock the economy down to see if he could do it again. That's what they're saying. Sick, right? Exactly, right? So that's what we're saying, Tony. That's why we say if the election was held tomorrow and the lights are turned on, Trump starts with 47, 48. Lock. Those are lock, right? That's how strong Trump is. I don't know what Biden starts with. Does Biden start with 50%? No. I think that's a fact of life. I think that's real. So the polls open tomorrow. The light gets turned on, 8 o'clock in the morning. Trump starts with 47, 48%. What does Biden start with? I don't know. Because the whole idea is, when it comes down to it, who's going to come to the polls to vote? They could go in the streets, they're burning buildings down, but are they actually going to vote? I don't know, man. I would, in all likelihood or probability, I would suggest that they're not. Yeah, the mail-in ballots are scary because of, and Trump talked about it today, the ability, like he mentioned China, to duplicate the ballots and send them in. What up, Porky? How you doing, my brother? God bless you. So that's where we are with that, right? So if the election was to happen tomorrow, on a straight up, see, this is the problem, right? And this is how we're looking at this thing. On a straight up election, without factoring what Greenwood's talking about, the mail-in ballots, more people voting, and Tom Fitton addressed this. I mean, Tom Fitton really addressed this, right? True, but Trump does too. I think Trump has got something up his sleeve. I think Trump is smarter than them. I really do. Greenwood, I can't rule anything. if this is a straight election, right? Because this is the difference, right? I hope so, Porky. I wish, right? Because the Republicans obviously want to win, but the Democrats are so bad by any means necessary as the Democrats, right? They'll put the police on lockdown to allow the criminals to run. They'll contrive up a police brutality when 99.9% of the cases are not. And they'll allow, like Nancy Pelosi allows in San Francisco, the neglect in San Francisco, the beautiful city of San Francisco. They're doing in Chicago, where they, black on black crime. You got every week there's black youth being killed and nobody cares, right? And then you got the bunch of the rhino, absolutely, Porky. Then you got the rhinos. So if this was a straight up election, right? So we know it's not going to be one because we got the mail-in ballots, right? And if you look at it in 2018, for example, anything that was close, I think a half a dozen to a dozen of those close elections in 2018, I'd be willing to bet that the Democrats, if there's 7 that were very close, the Democrats won 6, and that's from the cheating that they do, right? The illegals voting, the dead, people that die vote, the busing. It just goes on and on. Horror show, Greenwood. Horror show. So how does Trump win? How does Trump win? I think Trump's got to keep doing what he did today. Talk about what he's done, right? And that'll continue to show the contrast between Joe Biden and they have no policies. They just have an identity politics. And I think, right, based on the enthusiasm for Trump, like we said, Trump tomorrow, if the election was tomorrow, the doors open up, a straight up election. Trump starts with 47, 48. We know a lock. The enthusiasm is so strong for Trump. Without even talking about the independents that can go, the independents. Without even talking about the independents. The straight up vote for Trump. They're going to vote for Trump. People are going to come to vote. They're waiting on lines now to see him at rallies. You don't think they're going to vote for him? Of course. That's the whole idea. That's why this whole thing is a ruse in a lot of ways. So that's Trump's strength. Where the campaign, we got to watch, obviously, is the stuff that, what up there, Manuel? Well, there you go, Porky. I don't know, Manuel. I don't know if there's going to be a debate, right? What up, my brother? I don't think there's going to be a debate. If there's a debate, I think like what Greenwood said, a virtual debate. So Biden could wear his hat. I'm telling you. There you go, Greenwood. But sicker things have happened, right? And if you look at it, right, Greenwood, think about it. Hillary Clinton, they fixed it for her, right? To beat Sanders, they framed Sanders. They gave her the questions. And she got all the superdelegates. So he lost. The superdelegates was the final say. Fixer, right? They did it. That's crazy. That's unbelievable, Porky. God bless you, my brother. So with that, things have, they got mail-in ballots now. Trump's campaign is on steroids, absolutely. He's sitting on a howitzer, absolutely. But they got mail-in ballots now. They're using the COVID to try to keep businesses closed, to try to keep the economy down, and blame Trump. That's the strategy, right? Obviously. This is not rocket science, right? So how does he win? Tremendous enthusiasm, I think, is one. That's one vector that, you can't have enough of. Yeah, that's what they're gonna try to do virtual, right? Manuel and Greenwood brought it out. That's what I'm talking about, Porky. God bless you. Greenwood brought it out. Manuel. Wow, that's crazy. So I still think Trump is going to be tough to beat. Though the odds makers, look, they had Hillary Clinton 92% chance of winning October 20th, 2016. Did the New York Times. So go figure, right? I just think you open up the doors today. Trump's starting with 48, Porky. Trump's going to be tough. He starts with 48. With all, there was what's interesting was, this is interesting to me. I was, because you go, you do searches and you're looking to see if anything in the Twitter and the open source or whatever. And this blogger, I forgot his name, Hansen, something like that. He's a Democrat, and he's claiming that this was his claim. It was interesting. He claims that Trump is going to win the day of the polls. Right, so that's interesting, right? So Trump's going to win the day of the polls. People go to the polls and vote. Trump's going to win. But he thinks what could happen is the mail-in ballots come in and take it away from Trump. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. So the machines, Trump wins. And then they steal it with the mail-in ballots. That was his presentation. I didn't read the whole thing. I read the beginning of it. I was like, wow, that's interesting. So the stealing is going to happen with the mail-in ballots. You got to be honest and real, right? They're going to try to steal it. Right. So Trump's got to have something to counter this with. There's going to be some sort of countering here. I don't think Trump is going to allow them to do this. I don't believe it. Right there, Johnny. I hear you, brother. She's a disgrace. I agree. Exactly. They'll duplicate them, fill them out, and mail them in. You're right, sure. So this guy, he's a Democrat, and I don't know who he's plugged in with, but he's a smart guy. And he was just saying he thinks a scenario could be Trump wins the machines, and now they're waiting to count the mail-in ballots. And that's where the thing changes. Interesting. That's how they steal it. There you go, Porky. Right? Something. It's crazy, man. But my sense of it is that's where they're getting their confidence from. Because they're mail-in ballots, the Democrats. Because the Democrats basically play the game by any means necessary. They don't care how they win. They don't care.